It is with great... It is with great pain, sorrow, and deep resentment that I admit I'm the one who buffed the hero goblins. No. Before you go into the comments and accuse me like I've been being accused of being a two-faced Supercell agent who only exists to try and suck money out of my viewers, please allow me to explain myself. Now, most people know that creators have a developer build, which basically means that we get the new content ahead of time in order to make videos on it before they get released into the main game. Now, where I'm going with this is simple. I don't think Clash Royale has a developer team that, like, tests their game, which is insane. But if they do exist, I don't know what they're doing, and we might need to look into having them do their jobs. So since there's literally no testing department, the creators are the only thing that stand in the way of each hero being the most broken thing of all time. Yes, that's right. If you think they're coming out broken to the main game, you're not going to believe what they look like when we see them. Now, for better or for worse, creators are the main ones, definitely for worse. Creators are the main ones in charge of pre-balancing the heroes, because I think that the balancing team just gets all their info from, like, the balancing team pisses me off at times, okay? They really do, because of not just their decision making, but because of how much good feedback gets given in the chat. Before I go into any other thing about feedback, the creators have been very good at giving feedback. Now, some people give completely useless feedback, like, let's remove level 16 in order to save what's wrong with the community, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Slight tangent here. The reason level 16 didn't work is because there were 4 pitifully bad parts about that update. 1 being heroes are terrible. 2 being level 16 adds literally nothing except me needing to upgrade cards. 3, level 16 is a pain in the absolute ass to get. And 4, they literally removed magic items. So have fun playing your one probably going to be shitty deck very soon, because, oh my god, don't even get me. 5, you can't get heroes. You can't get heroes. You have to pay $15. You can't get heroes. You will get a hero that you may or may not want every 3 months. Weird. And believe me when I say that I am giving really, really hard feedback on trying to get them to revert the heroes thing, or to give people more heroes, or to not make it random. We're just trying to make heroes somewhat salvageable, and lots of creators are agreeing with me and giving great feedback on that as well. But unfortunately, I don't know if this is part of the problem. Some creators don't think before they speak when they give feedback, and the feedback is quite literally just terrible. It's just terrible. And these are the same people that, you know what, I'll hold off. Let's take it back to the goblins for a second. When I look at the goblins, the 2 elixir stab goblins, I see one of the lamest cards in Clash Royale. They often have no place in between. I'd rather have a faster cycle with skeletons. I'd rather actually do something with guards. The card is boring, the card is stale, it's not usable, and it's literally only in one deck. So when I see a hero goblins card that clearly just looks pitiful, like, you spawn 3 goblins after death. Yes, my freaking grandma's slipper could do more than 3 goblins. This screams to me, I'm not going to buy the Pass Royale. Pass Royale value already sucks. And I want Pass Royale because it literally gives me a pay-to-win hero, because that's the state of the game. The goblins aren't going to win me shit. So I'm not going to buy the Pass Royale. And Clash Royale is going to go, oh my god, we tried to release a balanced hero. Well, joke's on you. Next one's going to be twice as broken. And that's just, I don't feel like that's sustainable. I thought there should be a reason for people to use goblins outside of the main deck that is used, which is nobody uses goblins. So I thought, hey, let's give people a reason to use goblins. And what I didn't think about was that 1 elixir for 4 goblins is a big problem, because there is 1 card in this entire game that can get a even trade for 1 elixir 4 goblins, and that is the Fire Spirits. And that is not at all healthy for the game, because you can just literally press the ability button every single time and guarantee yourself to get value, because 1 elixir for 4 goblins is broken and they're going to have to overspend for it, or ignore it, and you get damage. Now, I'm not trying to blame other creators here. I should have thought about this a little bit more before I decided to say, hey, 1 elixir for 4 goblins. 1, by the way, they don't listen to our feedback unless it's something like this, which is awesome, because I've given many great balancing ideas, and I know many people in the chat have given great balancing ideas, and they've, God knows what happened to them, with every single creator in the entire chat, except for 1 person, I think, who we convinced gave the opinion that we should have 1 hero slot because 2 is terrible for the game. And we still have 2 hero slots, and they came out and argued why they should be 2 hero slots, actually. And it was the worst arguments I've ever seen, and I dismantled every single one of them, as well as other creators dismantling every single one of them. We have not heard from them since, and there is still 2 hero slots. So I'm going to assume that it was purely done out of greed. Back to the Goblins. What was I saying? Yes, back to the Goblins. I thought, back to the Goblins. What didn't cross my mind again was how impossible it would be to get a positive or even trade against the Goblins, and that it would just be completely broken. Unfortunately, and I'm not trying to blame other creators here, nobody said anything. Like, nobody said anything about, hey, that's probably not a good idea. And I think if I definitely, like, just had a conversation with somebody about why 4 Goblins would be broken, I would have probably seen it, and I would have probably been like, what? Yeah, that's probably not a good idea. What we should do instead is make it 2 elixir for 4 Goblins. That way, there's a little bit of a risk for summoning the Goblins, but you can still get value, and you won't spam the ability every time, and it opens up extra avenues for elixir trades. I will die on the hill that 2 elixir for 4 Goblins is much better for the hero, and for the usability and versatility of the hero, than 1 elixir for 3 Goblins is, because I really don't think 1 elixir for 3 Goblins is ever going to do anything. But yes, unfortunately, there was nobody in the chat to tell me that, hey, that's not a good idea. And they almost instantly, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 days, went, okay, we'll listen to your balance ideas. We've added an additional Goblin. Now, here's 2 problems. Supercell seemingly doesn't listen to our feedback when it involves anything involving free-to-play progression and just stuff for the better of the player base. Now, when I say that, I know I have been, and some other creators have been asking for global tournaments and for extra modes for going on 8 or 9 months. And yes, they announced that global tournaments are coming back in March, but we haven't heard anything for them in half a year. Hey, what's going on with global tournaments, guys? What do you guys think about this new emote? I'm like, come on! Yes, it is my fault that I got the Hero Goblins buffed, and I'm sorry about that, and when giving balancing ideas, I will think very much harder about that in the future, thinking about every way you could get positive elixir trades, what it means for different parts of the deck. This is a symptom of an underlying problem of creators should not have to test Supercell's game for them. We have things to be doing, and while I do think that the only way the game can currently be saved from these broken things right now is for creators to give feedback on the cards before they get released into the game. This needs to happen, but it shouldn't have to happen. We should have Supercell test their own damn game. But I don't think that's going to happen. So if you do have your favorite creator, please urge them to, if they have access to the developer build, give feedback on the cards before they get released. I am one of the few creators who really understands what it's like from both sides of the spectrum, from both free-to-play players and the average community player to Supercell on their side, needing to make money, needing to keep the game economy alive and all that stuff. Well, with that being said, I think Supercell continues to make terrible decision after terrible decision after terrible decision and decides not to listen to feedback until it's something like, hey, let's buff the new hero. Again, I do think it needed to be buffed, but I just find it funny how they instantly listen to that feedback, but when we give them feedback on something that's real, to be honest, more important for the state of the game. So yes, I apologize for buffing the Hero Goblins, and I will do better to make sure that I don't get these cards buffed. So believe me when I say there is nothing for me to gain from making Clash Royale's heroes broken on purpose. The game being pay to win and unhealthy and unfun makes my life miserable. It makes it way worse. So there's nothing that I have to gain from making Supercell more, getting them more money. I'm not getting, I don't have a secret contract that's paying me $2 million and a free yacht to freaking coerce you guys into, you know, submitting to Supercell's propaganda. I promise. But what I won't do is stop giving feedback to Clash Royale. I'm one of the most vocal people in the developer chat, and I will continue to represent your interests while also thinking about it from Supercell's side, so I am not one of those creators who unfortunately doesn't know what they're talking about and just gives bad feedback that clearly doesn't make sense from Supercell's side. I will continue to do my best job to represent you guys and to hopefully not have another incident like this. Thank you.